Any sort of goal achieved never ever came without challenges. And there's going to be moments where you're going to want to give up. The fulfillment of the finish is what you get. I remember, when I just started this process and the idea of it, and my initial goal was run a sub 4-hour marathon. I immediately thought to myself, right, if I'm gonna want to achieve this goal, I need to understand and have somebody in my corner that knows what it takes.
JP mentioned that he was wanting to run a marathon and he wanted me to help him. He was very committed and I could tell that he was very dedicated to this whole marathon process.
So Nolene Conrad, my running coach, she believed in me that I could do it. And the benefit was that she was part of the Adidas family already.
My grandma watched a lot of cricket and she loved JP, so she would have been very psyched to hear I'm coaching JP. So it was very nice to know that this guy was so down to earth. He was always very encouraging to the other members, so it was great to have someone like him as part of my team.
So obviously I worked with Nolene to put together a specific program that fits my body type. I've now adapted myself to running 4 times a week, where I'm not running more than 2 consecutive days in a row. So we're averaging right now between 45 and 55 Ks. And as we go on now for the next 2.5 months, that's gonna bump up to probably about 90 to 100 Ks per week.
So with this training program, my focus with JP was firstly to build a base. I think he put a lot of effort into it and it paid off for him. Always tell him, listen to your body. That's the #1 important thing, is you need to listen to your body and not push through pain. And then lastly, just to wear the right shoes.
All right guys, I'm here with Coach Nolene. We're at Sportsmans Warehouse. We're here to meet the Adidas running tech rep to work out whether these are the right shoes for me going into the race, but also the run ID, and just check what's happening with my feet to make sure that we're in the right shoes. So let's go have a look. Yeah, so these are the ones that I've been training in. What are your thoughts on them? I mean, they've been very comfortable.
Yeah, so the Boston itself is a great training day shoe, obviously gearing you up towards that race day.
Yeah.
We obviously want to try and tackle our best times, and
Yes.
This is the greatest shoe to be able to do that building up to the race. When we start looking towards race day, we're obviously going to look to our adizero range in terms of the Adios Pro 2, a nice lightweight running shoe that's really going to get you geared and flying on the day itself. The breathability aspect alongside the lightness of that actual upper is key, especially in a shoe like this.
Kaylin, I noticed from the previous versions, the sole of the shoe, this one is quite different to the previous one. Why is it so smooth, and what's the purpose behind that?
What's really unique about this shoe itself is how smooth it is. The smoothness of this outer sole is actually designed to even give you more traction. We're not going to run every day in this shoe, it's just going to tackle that main race day.
I'm gonna need reminders from my coach, because I'm gonna want to set PBs every single race.
You're going to do it. You're definitely going to 215 grams. I think you're well set to be able to have the best run. Especially obviously training in your Bostons, and that's gearing you up for that amazing run. This is just going to be the cherry on the cake and finishing that off for you.
So the run ID, I need to work out what are the best shoes for me.
We do the running hole, so when I tell you to walk, just give me a nice fast walk. Okay, so we do the 3 focus forms of the foot. The Boston 10 is working perfectly because it's correcting his running style. He's barely giving pressure onto the forefoot. Final conclusion is a neutral foot.
So that's why the Boston 10s are working.
Yeah.
So now we know what shoe is going to work well for you in your training. The Bostons is obviously very great because it corrects that style, that pressure points that you've seen on the run ID. The Pro 2 is a great shoe for you going forward. I think it's definitely a good choice for race day. The important thing with marathon training is you can only improve if you are consistent.
I was amazed at somebody kind of pushing you in that direction, and how you can surprise yourself. So I'm very grateful for the relationship and how she's pushed me. You realize that with somebody pushing you, you have the ability to do something. Now there's the belief is there as well. You can get so sucked into your own world of what you're trying to achieve.
I had COVID in December.
I remember running for 1 kilometer and I had nothing left in the tank.
I think that's the most important thing for me. You need to nourish your body.